Hello, so this is the video of I'm just reviewing what I did today. Uh, this video is not like tutorials, so I'm not good enough to teach something yet. And the purpose of this video is to improve my explanation skills and improve my English skills. And by also reviewing, it sticks on my head better. So I'm doing this. So let's start. So what I did, it was actually yesterday, but I couldn't have enough time to review this, so I'm doing this today. So this class is about learning behavior biometric, and uh, I put important theory and vocabulary and processes on Quizlet so that I can well summarize what to memorize. So what is multi-factor authentication? So it's like two factors authentication. Two-factor authentication is like for the first one, you type your email and password, and once that's done, that the verification code is sent to something, and then you verify that. So that's like two factors of authentication. So multi-factor is like that. So factor one, what you know. Factor two, what you have. Factor three, what you are. State details of these three factors. It's not like details, examples like factor one, name and password. Factor two, fingerprints like physical biometrics. And factor three, this is behavior biometrics. So what is the advantages of passive behavior biometrics? Uh, it is passive. Passive means like um is it like you don't make an action? Like you're not the one putting it, but the data computer gets data automatically. Uh, Good accuracy and increasing performance, consistent on-channel usage, and it is inconvenience. And this is difficult to spoof because, for example, if a computer analyze the person's walking behavior, it's really difficult to copy that person's um, ways of walking every time. It's very difficult to spoof. It can maintain privacy. It means like by having difficult spoof security, it can maintain the data. What are three challenges of behavior biometrics? Inconsistency. Why? Because because of like environmental difference or like any other factors, or if any other factor is different, like people would behave differently. If the outside is cold, people might walk like they're holding their arms or something. So it's very different, depends on the environment. Evolution of behavior. So again, their behavior can change as they evolve. For example, their walking speed might be faster because of their physical growth, especially if they're a child. And environmental factors, that's like what I said, like yeah, when it's cold, it's different. Give seven examples of behavior for behavior biometrics. Touch stroke, swipe, signature, hand movements, voice modulations, footsteps, gait. Yeah, this is just examples. What is insiders? I should go from here. I should have stated this one first. So there are four categories of behavior biometric app. There are four application Applied categories of behavior biometrics. What are those? Continuous authentication, risk-based authentication, insider threat detection, fraud detection, and prevention. Honestly, I'm not really understanding continuous authentication and risk-based authentication. I did a little search, but I couldn't really get it, so I'd like to ask about it to my professor. So what is insider detection? So this is the threat from inside. For example, employers or former employers or contractors. They might know some critical informations and they might get go through the security easily. What are the pros of physical biometrics? It cannot be forgotten or lost or just passed on. Accuracy is pretty high, of course, because like if you have your fingerprints, it's difficult to copy it out on your finger. So great, difficult. This is very fast. For example, if it's fingerprint, you can just put your finger there. Very user friendly. What are the cons of physical biometrics? That physical biometrics might not work because of body change. For example, I don't know, like by washing dishes every day, your fingerprints might like lose, and so your fingerprints become not obvious. So machine cannot detect your fingerprint anymore. Biometric scanner are quite expensive. Their machines are pretty expensive, and it needs to comply with the regulation of personal information. So they cannot uh, they need to comply the privacy regulation. What are the pros of behavioral biometrics? It improves recognition accuracy in multi-factor identification system. Um, yeah, it doesn't require effort to collect data because, for example, if it's walking, they just need to do a walk, and machine can get it automatically. And they're convenient since there are no need to remember or carry anything. You just need to do what they do usually. So, what are the cons of behavioral biometrics? They're not widely adapted. You don't usually see behavior biometrics yet. And it requires a lot of personal data to determine user standard behavior. You cannot, for physical biometric, like if you get your fingerprint once or twice, like it's pretty accurate already and it's usable for a security pass. But for behavioral biometric, like it has so many patterns. That's why it is unique, but that's why it is hard to get the data. It takes a lot of time. What are the five qualities of ideal biometrics? Robustness, distinctness, availability. I couldn't really get availability, what availability is in terms of this biometrics. So I need to ask. Accessibility and acceptability. Acceptability is like they're not like object to give their behavior information. So if these five factors, five quality meets, then it becomes really good behavior biometrics. Stage 7 process of getting behavioral biometrics. So pick behavior, let's say walking, and break up behavior into component actions. Their gait or their arm shake shakeness. Let's see, the amount of shake of their arm um, their speed, like you divide into those components, which is called features, and combine resulting into feature vector profile. Make a feature vector profile, and then apply similarity measure function to the stored template and current behavior. Um, apply similarity measure function to the stored template and current behavior. I guess it's like testing phase. Once you have a measure, test it on the current behavior. I guess that's what it is. Six, experimentally determine a stressful hold value. Wait, I don't get it. I need to ask. Verify or reject user based on similarity score comparison to the threshold value. So this is where testing. Okay, I'm not really getting this. I need to ask this to professor. Uh, there's a little more thing that I'd like to add on it. So let's go to slide. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. What you know, what you have, what you are. Which page? 12 lines. Okay, this one. So this is like an example of behavior and measures and features. If I take credit card use as example, behavior is like using credit card, and measures are preferences, and features are like so they detect which users are you using no which card is used by account number, transaction type, credit card type, merchant ID, merchant address. So those are the features. This is just an example. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I learned from this lecture. And I'd like to yeah, review, I mean, ask things that I couldn't understand. And there are more things we did yesterday, so I'd like to go over them too.